What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical average American here today to react and continue learning about the most popular Canadian TV shows of all time. Part 2. If you haven't seen Part 1, feel free to check that out. Or, you know what? Stay right here where you are. That's perfectly fine. But in Part 1, we started looking at the top 15 most popular, most successful Canadian TV shows ever. Now, how do you judge that? Well, they're judging it based on the popularity of the show, the critical acclaim, and the cultural impact on Canada, basically, which I think is honestly a good set of guidelines to rank these shows on. If you're gonna try to rank the top TV shows in Canadian history, that sounds pretty good. And I'm very happy, sort of embarrassed, but mostly pleased to say that I had never heard of any of the shows that we went over in Part 1. It's so funny to me that there can be hugely popular TV shows enjoyed by millions of people, and just because I'm American, I've literally never heard of it. It's very funny to me, but also very fun to learn about these things for the first time, so that's kind of nice. I mean, we had Little Mosque on the Prairie, loved the premise of that. Flashpoint, what else was there? Kids in the Hall, sketch comedy, looked pretty good. Murdoch Mysteries, what else do we have? And Due South, yeah, we ended on Due South. The comedy drama with the Mountie in America looked absolutely fantastic. So I'm really enjoying these, and I am very excited to see what else we have on the list to finish this out. So at number 7, we have Trailer Park Boys. Trailer Park Boys. I've heard of that. That's like the first one on this entire list that I've heard of. 2001 to 2018. I know Americans watch this show. Americans enjoy this show. I've heard the name, but I've never bothered to watch it. I wasn't quite sure what it was about or if it was good, or it's a mockumentary style comedy series about the misadventures of residents in a fictional Nova Scotia trailer park. I had no idea Trailer Park Boys was set in Canada. I've never seen the show, but I guess I figured it was an American TV show about trailer parks or something. But okay, let's look up a clip from the show, honestly. Okay. What do we have here? Oh man, Trailer Park Boys best moments to go for like half an hour of clips. Let's just go with this one. This video might be inappropriate for some. Wow, that's saying something. This might be inappropriate. Okay, I want to proceed.
Give me 15 bucks, man. Come on, and I get some smokes here somewhere.
Okay, Ricky.
What
Let him
on
up.
earth? What?
Ricky, off.
Get off here, man. Let go this foot. Give me
This is so funny because this reminds me literally of America. Like, United States trailer parks and trailer park communities have kind of like a stigma, you could say, of the kind of people who are there and some of the behaviors. That's a stereotype, to be honest, and not necessarily at all true. But if it were true, it would look something like this in people's minds. American minds. This is so funny to me.
Let him go, Ricky.
Oh, okay. Is this the show? Just beating people up,
I want to
smoking,
be a film star. Fuck
eating jerky, drinking,
it. Oh, a porn star, not a film
shooting guns. This is like the most American TV show I've ever seen. I think I was okay to assume that it was in America.
star, Ricky. It's a big difference.
What? It's in Nova Scotia. Wow, that's hilarious. It's also shot in like a kind of shaky, over-the-shoulder, handheld camera to make it seem like a documentary. Wow. I had no idea that's what Trailer Park Boys was. Okay. Fun. Cool to learn about that finally. All right, number 6. The Beachcombers. The Beachcombers. Never heard of it. It's from the 70s to the 90s. I couldn't tell you what it's about. A drama series set in a coastal town in British Columbia, following the adventures of a log salvager and his friends. I'm gonna be honest, if I read this description like in the TV guide or something, and it's like follow the adventures of a log salvager and his friends, I'd be like, no, I don't think I'm gonna. But this is number 6 on the list. What on earth? Let me look up a clip from the Beachcombers. What do we have here? Beachcombers. Let me look up Beachcombers clip, maybe? Outlaw clip? What has a lot of views? Invisible Relic. Here's a promo. Let's watch the promo. Okay.
CBC Sunday. There's excitement and adventure for
Oh.
all the family Sunday night when
Oh.
Bruno Geruzzi stars as log salvager Nick Adonidas on The
What?
Beachcombers.
What on
Set
earth?
in the rugged beauty of Canada's west.
It's a bit campy. Not intentionally, though. Like, cheesy. Like, it's just very old school. Like, like comparing the action from, like, Mission Impossible or, like, John Wick to the Beachcombers promo here is kind of funny.
Set in the rugged
yeah.
beauty of Canada's west coast. Be sure to watch and enjoy The Beachcombers.
Okay.
Tomorrow night at 7,
Oh, look at
7:30,
this.
Land on CBC.
See, that's cool because you know they launched that boat.
Land on...
You know they did this stunt for real. There was no CGI back then, no faking it. That's kind of cool. Seems like it has a big nostalgia factor. Like if you are watching this in the 70s, it was probably like very cutting edge, fun action show. All right, I get it. We got Hockey Night in Canada. Hockey Night in Canada. I'm shocked it took this long to get to this. This is number 5. A long-running sports program, features NHL hockey games. It is a staple in Canadian culture. Okay, I think I can imagine what this is. I don't think I have to look this up, but is it like a talk show, Hockey Night in Canada, kind of like ESPN kind of stuff that would be shown in the United States? Basically, yeah, like we have U.S. football and basketball shows dedicated just to the sport. So Hockey Night in Canada. I think I just really like the name, and I love that in the top, most popular, critically acclaimed, and culturally relevant shows, Hockey Night in Canada. I mean, it belongs there. Honestly, it makes sense. Number 4, Anne of Green Gables. I have heard of this. Americans have never heard of this. I've only heard of this because I watched a video on Prince Edward Island a long time ago, and it mentioned Anne of Green Gables. It's like based on a book or something, and you can visit like the Anne of Green Gables house or cottage on Prince Edward Island, I think. Various TV adaptations of Lucy Maud Montgomery's classic novel about the adventures of Anne Shirley, a young orphan girl. I kind of do want to see a clip of this. Why is this so beloved in Canada? This is number 4. Let's see here. Anne of Green Gables, see. This one about carrots? Okay. Seems to have been watched quite a few times. 600,000 times. A lot of people looking up a little Anne of Green Gables clip.
What is your name?
Anne Shirley. Anne spelt with an E.
We pride ourselves on our scholastic record.
Oh, they're laughing at her.
And we hope that you will strive to meet our standards.
Oh, I'm sure I will, Mr. Phillips. I've taught children younger than myself to read before, and both my parents were teachers. I'm positive we'll have a lot in common.
What?
You will share a seat with Diana Barry.
Okay. Yeah, I think what you see is what you get. I'm a little confused about what's happening just because we jumped into a random part, but Anne seems very nice and very smart and a little underappreciated by that teacher, to say the least, I gotta say. All right. This just seems like some kind of Canadian cultural, like, milestone or something, like some kind of Canadian cultural focal points where if you don't know what this is and you've never really seen it like me, you don't quite understand it. So, but it's not the first time I've heard of it. Number 3, Schitt's Creek. Schitt's Creek, I have heard of this. Not just because it has a funny name, but it does. But because it's immensely popular, and again, I don't know why. We're starting to get to shows here that are so popular, I've at least heard of the title of the show before. I've just never seen it. I had no idea this was a Canadian show. A critically acclaimed sitcom about a wealthy family who loses their fortune and is forced to live in a small town, I assume a small Canadian town, what they once bought as a joke. What? 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 A wealthy family purchased the entire town as a joke once? What kind of joke is that? I don't get the joke. Then they lost all their wealth and had to move there. Fascinating premises for shows here. Let me try to look up a clip from Schitt's Creek. Just so I can get a little taste, even if I don't quite understand. Fold in the cheese? The name of this clip is Fold in the Cheese. He's cooking enchiladas. Season 2, episode 2.
A quarter cup at a time. A thin stream. It's supposed to be a thin stream. Blend it really well, or you'll burn a potato. That's not right.
Okay, well, that's because I'm ladling and stirring at the same time, and you're just standing there.
Now,
I didn't know this was such a modern show either. For some reason, was I thinking of something else like Dawson's Creek or something? Schitt's Creek. This is from like all the way up to 2020.
now's not the time to lose focus, darling.
This was your idea. You're the one who allegedly made the enchiladas.
Yes, so try to keep up. Okay, next.
Okay, so it's just funny and entertaining to watch rich people have to like deal with like the troubles of everyday normal living, basically. Probably more to it than that, but it seems like a funny show. It's a comedy, I think. Yeah. Sitcom comedy. All right. Number 2, Degrassi! Yes! Yes! Oh, I mentioned this at the beginning of part 1. There's only one Canadian show I know of. There's only one Canadian show that even exists in my heart, and it's Degrassi. Growing up, I used to watch Degrassi. For some reason, there was a Nickelodeon channel in the United States that just showed Degrassi all the time. I, to be honest, didn't even know for the longest time. I didn't know Degrassi was set in Canada or was acted by Canadians. And it's got Drake in it. But I love Degrassi. I've never seen the original. Gosh, Degrassi Junior High? I guess I should say that. I'm a bit of a poser. I've only seen Degrassi, The Next Generation. I guess I should mention that. I hope you don't think too less of me. It started in 1987, a long-running teen drama series that has tackled various social issues over the years. Oh, I don't have to do this, but I'm gonna look up a Degrassi clip. Just because I can. Just because I like... what do we have here? Drake's greatest acting. Degrassi moments I can't stop thinking about. Spinner makes up with his girlfriend. Spinner falls out with his girl. Spinner breaks up. Spinner falls out. Oh man, this is where Drake gets shot. Oh man. Okay, I think I could. Too much of the video is gonna just me watching Degrassi clips. So I'm just gonna say that this is the one Canadian show I know of, I've seen a lot of, I love it. So I'm glad it got number 2. What on earth got number 1? Top 15 Canadian TV shows, and number 1 is not Degrassi. Man, I don't know. That kind of throws the whole list out the window to me, but all right. Number 1 is Corner Gas. Corner Gas. Never heard of it. Corner Gas? I don't know what it means. A sitcom set in a small Saskatchewan town, focusing on the lives of its quirky residents. Very vague premise, but also seems like vague enough and general enough to have a lot of funny moments. Corner Gas. Okay, let's look up Corner Gas clips. Not claps, clips. Corner Gas. What is this? Wait. Yeah, small Saskatchewan town focusing on the lives of its quirky residents? What do we have here? Greatest opening, Corner Gas, sarcasm. Okay.
Want me to fill it up? Sure.
It's a gas station.
You know, I've never driven across Saskatchewan before. Well, you still haven't, really.
About halfway to go yet.
Sure is flat.
How do you mean?
Yeah, flat, nothing to see.
What do you mean, like topographically?
It's very flat.
Hey, Hank, this guy says Saskatchewan is flat.
How do you mean?
Topographically, I guess. Says there's nothing to see.
There's lots to see. There's nothing to block your view.
There's lots to see, nothing to block your view.
I like how self-aware it is and like not really self-deprecating, but it's like very self-aware. It's funny. It's very like deadpan. I like it. Man, is this very, very popular? Is it about a gas station? Corner Gas? A whole TV show that's super popular in Canada. That's just a sitcom of a gas station in Saskatchewan. I would never have guessed in a million years, but that's exactly why I love learning about this. Okay, there you have it. Corner Gas, number 1. Man, I really, really enjoyed this list of 15 shows. For the most part, I think for like, except for 3 of the 15, I had never even heard the names of these shows, which is very funny to me, because obviously they must be very, very well known in Canada. But I really enjoyed getting to know them and learn about them and get a little taste with the clips and whatnot. So interesting. These are the top Canadian shows. A lot of comedies, a lot of dramas, a lot of stuff. A lot of these shows just like set in really small town Canada where it's just funny things can happen. Basically, there's a lot of that and some dramas too. But I don't know. They all seemed pretty darn good to me. So I guess I've got a couple new shows I might want to check out. But for now, I enjoyed this immensely. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment, perhaps with, in your opinion, what the top Canadian TV shows are that you think. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Canada and Canadian culture, and just stuff about Canada I've never seen or learned before, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.